Extremely disappointed that we couldn't close the game out after being up 3 with about 3 minutes or something to go in the game. We've been accustomed to making pretty good decisions and closing games out. I think we've been one of the better teams in the league down the stretch and competed in closely contested games. But unfortunately, though, we didn't lose the game during that period. I thought when you go back and look at the number of, I think we had 6 breakaway opportunities that we did not finish in transition, where we did not use good judgment in our attack in the basket. A couple times we crossed over and dribbled back into the defense. Seemed to be uncomfortable using our left hand attack in the basket. And then anytime they had 19 offensive rebounds, that was the same number of rebounds that we had. Now, we've been a pretty good rebounding team. When we concentrate, we have not been as consistent. But when you're giving up a team, a hungry, athletic, aggressive team, opportunities to get second shots, when they're already talented enough to make more first shots, that's a bad form of them. Had several instances where we came out of timeouts, and for whatever reason, we were not able to execute the things that we had put into given them to run. We seem to have several of those miscues, and I thought the fact that North Carolina did a very good job early in the game of trapping us. It seemed as though they kind of had us back on our heels. Where instead of just executing the offense comfortably and with confidence, so that we was looking for the trap. We never got into a real good offensive rhythm where we could move the ball and create opportunities for us to get maybe some more offensive rebounds. I thought that the ball stuck. They did a very good job of taking away certain positions on the floor. They overplayed some of our wings, and we never really got into the offensive rhythm that I think for us to be successful. And that's a credit to North Carolina, a very good team, tremendous amount of talent. They came closer to executing their game plan than we did in ours, and that probably has much to do with us not being able to win a team that was a little sharper. They executed better. Each time we made a mistake by not blocking out, they took advantage of it and gave them some second chance opportunities. When they shot 53% the second half, I believe that. I think over the last 4 or 5 years we've only had a handful of teams shoot 50% on us in any half. So you have to give them credit. They did the things they had to do to win. They came closer to executing their game plan. I think they gave them a chance to win. And I thought we fell short in terms of executing what we thought we needed to do in order to be successful. A hungry team that came in here and shot the lights out, did a lot of positive things, and basically controlled us on the boards. And, that's something that area where I'm sure that we can improve on, and hopefully we'll learn from this, and this will give us a better idea of how we have to play in the ACC in order for us to finish the season hopefully as strong as we want to.
Questions, please?
What was the biggest factor, you think, in the rebounding difference?
Their level of concentration and focus versus ours. I thought, obviously, they saw our game against Maryland where we came back the second half and out-rebounded a very good rebounding team, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. And I think that was their focus, to make sure that they went to the board, so it was some aggressiveness. And I thought that we did the complete opposite. We didn't utilize our athleticism and strength nearly as well as they did.
Do you need your guards to help out more in that area?
Well, our guards have been doing a pretty decent job. We wanted to on the defensive end, all 5 people are responsible for rebound. You know, because you can't run with the ball until you get it. So we just didn't. That's one part of the game that we did not do a very good job fundamentally of executing. And they did. They did a much better job sending their guys to the floor. But that's been their system. They normally have always sent 4 guys to the boards, which some teams, including ours, I've been afraid to do. But they sent guys to the board, and the night it paid off. And we didn't do a very good job of keeping them off the glass. But with all that said, we still got a 3-point lead under 4 minutes to go, and we turned the ball over, I think maybe 3 times down that stretch, and missed some point blank shots inside. And you can't do that in the ACC against a quality team that's playing within themselves as well as they did today.
Well, there was a different kind of feeling game from traditional Florida State games, trading baskets a little bit. Is that what this team is right now? Or
No, not really. I mean, I think that Carolina they've always been accustomed to kind of a fast-paced attack style. I thought they did a very good job of running when they had it, and then executing in the half court and making extra passes. If you think back in the game, they probably made at least 6 or 7 baskets within the last 10 seconds of the shot clock, where they moved the ball, reversed the ball, were extremely patient. They didn't force anything, and as the clock was winding down, they would get into the lane, hand off to a couple of guys for dunks, or we have a bad closeout and they dribble the baseline and got to the basket. So I thought they executed extremely well. They were extremely patient. They got what they wanted. They got the ball in the hands of the players that they need to have in order for them to be successful. They shot real well from the 3-point. We knew that Bullock and Harrison would do so. And they didn't do anything that surprised us. We obviously, though, did not execute our game plan nearly as well as they executed. Then when the game was on the line, they made us pay. And when you play against a good team and it's hungry for a victory like they were, and they executed very well, down the stretch when we made some mistakes, we didn't have enough time to overcome it. They did a very good job. I give them credit.
Kyle Turpin got off to a really good start. Is that some of the potential that you've seen in practice, and do you think you're going to see more of that moving forward?
Well, you know, it's interesting that you asked that question, because even though I think we've been playing a little better, our guys are getting better in practice. Michael Ojo is playing much better in practice. Boris has been playing well in practice. Aaron is shooting the ball much better. So we are making progress, and I'm confident that this team has the makings at some point of being a really good basketball team. But the most important thing for us is, while we are learning and growing and maturing, we need to try to at least serve at home, in games that you have an opportunity to win. When you're up a little bit and the game's winding out, you got to find a way to pull those out. And I'm hopeful that this will be a learning experience for our players. We'll learn from it and we'll grow. Thank goodness we got 18 conference games this year as opposed to 16. So maybe that might give us a little bit more margin of error. But on a serious note, our players have had a difficult time transferring how well they have shown what they're capable of doing in practice to games. But I think we're getting closer. I think that his effort was good, his energy was good. I thought he slacked up a little bit on the defensive end, where he couldn't contest shots good as well, but that's part of the learning experience. I'm just hopeful that we can continue to keep winning while we learn it. And maybe this will be a loss that we will sit and evaluate, and hopefully it'll springboard us into another little run, and hopefully it'll last a little longer, though. 2 in a row.
What's Robert Bilkes' status?
Well, he's fine. I can't play 12 guys. I played 11, didn't I? I mean, Now, sometimes you just can't play everybody on the team. All the time.
Akara didn't do much offensively the first half, and kind of the way he played second half, he seemed to go to the boards a little bit more.
Yeah, he was in there and got fouled. But we gotta get hitting on all cylinders at the same time. Today I thought we were sputtering, even though we were up a lot part of the game. I just never felt. I just felt that they were in much better offensive rhythm than we were. You know, we were kind of hitting and missing, and I think the fact that we were fairly talented and can make plays gave us an opportunity to be ahead. But I didn't feel like we were working as a unit within a system that we've been accustomed to using. I think we better playmakers, but we're still not as cohesive, and that's not because someone's playing selfish or anything like that. We're just not as in tune as I think we will be as we continue to keep practicing, working, and playing in games like this and being able to go back and watch and evaluate. I'm sure we'll be better next time we come out.
You hit 4 threes in a row, and then it seemed like the shot selection. Do you think like maybe hitting those 4 threes, like the guys were maybe settling for different shots? Because North Carolina looked like they were getting the penetration down low, but you guys were taking threes.
Well,
It looked like it was a 4
well,
threes in a row.
we shot 50% from 3, 11 for 21, 22. You're gonna miss some. You know, I mean, if you're looking for some reason to criticize the kids, I think that once again, you know, gosh, you can't hit them all. And we who we are. You know, we don't have a great low post game right now. I mean, so if you notice, we threw the ball inside, and sometimes we didn't finish all those either. You know, I don't find any fault in the shot that the kids made. I think we did take a couple ill-advised shots there in the scramble there toward the end, but I think that was just the nature of what was happening at that point. But for the most part, I didn't feel like anybody was forcing shots or anything like that. I just felt that we didn't make some plays. When you have 6 or 7 transition opportunities where you just got to lay the ball in the basket, you don't come away with it. It's easy to go back now and micro critique it and look for those little things. But when you get out rebounded and you don't score in transition, you have pass. You turn the ball, what we call unforced turnovers, when you just don't hold. You can turn the ball in the critical parts of the game against a really good, talented team. You know, in the ACC, you're not going to be successful. I didn't see anything that we can't correct. I didn't see anything that I'm overly concerned about, other than the fact I'm just disappointed that we didn't come away with it. But Carolina had a little something to do with it. Got 5 kids that were good. They took advantage of some of our shortcomings.
Everybody all set?